People were associating me with that the situation because I went to the Boosie pool party and he happened to be there and he happened to be standing on me.
Breaking news. Folks, the internet is melting down right now because Boosie Badass just did the unthinkable. Yeah, you heard that right. The Baton Rouge boss himself hopped online, lit a verbal grenade, and threw it straight at the music industry's secret puppet masters, and guess who's catching the shrapnel? None other than the Houston Dan himself, J. Prince, and the ever-elusive shadow broker of the game, Mike Loaded Dice. Now, before you think this is just another rapper rant, oh no, this ain't your typical Instagram live meltdown. This is bigger, way bigger. We're talking alleged payoffs, blacklists, rigged charts, and the kind of behind-the-scenes scheming that makes Wall Street look like a lemonade stand. But here's the real kicker. Boosie didn't just talk. He named names. He accused the industry of running like a dice game. And let's just say the ones holding the dice didn't like getting caught with loaded hands. So what's really going on here? Did Boosie just blow the lid off the biggest secret in hip-hop? Or is this just another internet illusion, smoke, mirrors, and a sprinkle of southern chaos? Strap in, because what you're about to hear might just make you question everything you thought you knew about the rap game. Boo. Badass had always been known for speaking his mind. But this time he crossed into territory nobody else dared to touch. It all started when he went live on social media. Just another night of him talking to fans.
Everybody in Texas know what the play is. If you rapping, you celebrity, if you like the strip club, you like to do this, you check in with them, they bringing them bad dice on you. Why you think they Duke the Judah, they really couldn't get him? That's why they had, come on, homie.
Fans, cracking jokes, and throwing little jabs at the fake side of the industry. But then something in his tone shifted, the laughter stopped, his expression hardened, and his voice carried that raw edge of frustration that only comes from years of seeing the same game play out. He said flat out that the rap game was no longer real, that it was fixed from top to bottom, and that he was sick of pretending otherwise. For a second, the live chat froze, everyone waiting to see if he was serious. Then he dropped two names that made the entire internet hold its breath, J. Prince and Mike Dice. The second those names hit the air, it felt like an earthquake rolled through hip-hop. Within minutes, clips were being screen-recorded, reposted, and dissected like courtroom evidence. Boosie didn't just make a claim. He threw a match on a pile of industry secrets everyone already suspected, but never dared to say out loud. He said that the charts were controlled, that the same few names kept showing up because they were chosen, not because they were talented. He talked about how some artists could release anything and still dominate, while others, no matter how real or talented, stayed invisible. According to him, it wasn't about who had bars anymore. It was about who had backing from the hidden hands running the show. He claimed that his own career and the careers of artists he tried to help had been blocked because he refused to play dice with the devils. He said that every label, every promoter, every streaming gatekeeper was connected through a quiet network of favors, deals, and money. If you didn't check in with the right people, you weren't getting in the door. He explained how he had tried to push a young artist from Baton Rouge into the spotlight. But the moment people found out Boosie was backing him, doors started closing, calls stopped getting answered, interviews were canceled, venues suddenly said they were overbooked. That was when Boosie realized that it wasn't just bad luck, it was a setup. Someone somewhere was making sure he and his team stayed on the outside. The chat during that live was chaos. Fans didn't know whether to cheer him on or beg him to stop before things got dangerous. Some were dropping shocked emojis, while others were typing in all caps that Boosie was speaking facts. It was one of those rare moments when the internet collectively stopped scrolling. He said, "They've been setting the dice for years. You think this is luck? Nah. This game been loaded." The quote spread instantly. People turned it into captions, tweets, and TikToks, treating it like scripture. For the first time, someone was saying what everyone had been thinking. Every rigged award show, every suspicious chart spike, every new artist with no background suddenly blowing up, it all fit the story he was telling. His voice carried both anger and exhaustion. He sounded like someone who had played fair for too long in a rigged casino. Behind the scenes, the silence from J. Prince's camp was deafening. Everyone knew that man didn't respond fast. He moved strategically. His reputation stretched from Houston to the highest corners of the business world, and people whispered that he could make or break careers with a single phone call. The fact that he said nothing made people talk even more. Blogs started speculating. Twitter threads popped up connecting names, and fans began to analyze old interviews of Boosie, where he mentioned being iced out of deals. Everything suddenly looked different in light of what he was saying. And yet Boosie didn't back down. He doubled down the next day, saying the charts, the features, the tours, and even the award nominations were all under control of a few hands who decided who got to shine. The passion in his voice made people believe him even if they couldn't prove it. Overnight, the dice game theory became the newest viral phrase across social media. Commentators, podcasters, and fans all joined the discussion, arguing about who was in on it, who was protected, and who was paying the price for speaking up. The story had only just begun, and everyone could feel that something much bigger was coming. As the clip of Boosie's live spread across every corner of the internet, the reactions reached a boiling point. Comment sections turned into digital battlegrounds with fans, critics, and insiders all weighing in. Some called him a hero for saying what everyone else was afraid to admit, while others warned that he was signing his own death sentence by naming such powerful figures. You could feel the tension like static in the air. Then came the so-called leaks. A handful of anonymous accounts claiming to be close to the situation started posting screenshots of emails and text messages supposedly linking Mike Dice's people to secret promotional deals and chart manipulation. Whether the receipts were real or not didn't even matter anymore. The narrative had already taken off. People wanted to believe it. The idea that the rap game was a giant casino controlled by invisible hands was too dramatic and too perfect to ignore. YouTubers jumped in with hour-long breakdowns, showing graphs of suspicious streaming numbers, and self-proclaimed insiders came forward with stories of mysterious fees required for playlist placements. Every new piece of gossip fed the storm. Meanwhile, Jay Prince finally spoke. But instead of the fiery denial people expected, his tone was cold and measured. He said, "In this business, some people forget respect until it is reminded to them." It was short but heavy, and that single statement sent the internet into another spiral. Fans dissected every word like a coded threat, while others saw it as proof that Boosie had struck a nerve. Mike Dice's camp tried to dismiss everything as a conspiracy, saying Boosie was bitter because his last projects hadn't charted. But then another twist hit. A small-time rapper from Atlanta came forward claiming that Dice's team had once offered to fix his chart debut for the right price. The post got thousands of shares before it mysteriously disappeared, and that only made people more suspicious. Reporters tried reaching out to both sides, but everyone either went silent or denied knowing anything. By the end of the week, the story had grown beyond Boosie. It wasn't about one man's rant anymore. It had turned into a movement. Independent artists began posting videos saying they had faced the same kind of invisible walls. One artist claimed she was asked to sign a consulting deal that would guarantee her exposure, but she refused and never got another call. Fans started demanding transparency from streaming platforms and record labels, while conspiracy threads exploded online with names of alleged gatekeepers. Boosie's words had become a spark that lit a fire under the entire culture. Through it all, Boosie remained unapologetic. He posted one last message, saying he was working on something bigger, something that would put faces to the lies. He said he was tired of seeing real talent buried under politics and fake numbers. Whether people believed him or not didn't matter anymore. The idea had already taken root, and the dice had already been rolled. So here we are, standing at the edge of what might be the biggest shakeup hip-hop has ever seen. The question is, do you believe it? Do you think Boosie finally said out loud what every artist has been too scared to admit? Or is this just another wild conspiracy blowing up online? Because if even half of what he said is true, then the music we've been vibing to for years might not be as organic as we thought. The dice might really be loaded, the game might really be fixed, and the players at the top might not be as powerful as they pretend to be. But here's the thing, stories like this don't disappear, they evolve. So, what happens next depends on you. Do we keep scrolling and let it fade? Or do we start asking questions about who's really controlling the soundtracks of our lives? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if you're riding with Boosie or calling cap. And make sure you hit that like button because this story is far from over. Subscribe now, because the truth might get darker, deeper, and louder before anyone dares to silence it.